LV, the premier online sportsbook, taking wagers since 1998. The most player-friendly lines, weekly juice specials, and a true dime line in MLB. Unique casino platforms with thousands of games. Play poker, high stakes, low stakes, or tournament play. uwager.lv, what we offer. Free same-day payouts. Customer service and wagering support, 24/7, year-round. Free monthly rebates on your action and daily casino rebates. Contests, free bets, best bonuses, and giveaways. Generous referral program. Get an 80% free play bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000. Sign up today, and use promo code SPORTSWEB. Remember, you can't win if you don't play.
guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here on a Monday night. A disappointing, to say the least. I know there's a lot of fans out there that are disappointed after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to the Atlanta Falcons 16-13. So how do we start off this show on a positive note? You know it, you love it, you got to have it. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. On tonight's show, we'll have Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of the sports web, on with us. We'll have Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy in the house. Wife's left to town. He's going to come on and talk about what else? Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the question for the night, as I've been doing this, Monday and Wednesday nights, thinking it up, trying to read everybody's responses on social media. A lot of people wanted to talk about it today. What is your biggest disappointment in with the Bucs after they lose to the Falcons? Number one, A, is it play calling or coaching? Is it B, offensive line and lack of running game? Is it C, quarterback play with Baker Mayfield? Or is it D, Ryan Neal and the defense? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I want to hear from you tonight. Little to no guest. It's just Harry, me, and Ray. And you. Your phone calls. I know you want to vent. I know you're upset. And, of course, the Bucs on a short week are playing the Buffalo Bills on Thursday night primetime football. Not necessarily the best matchup, if you will, seeing as the Bills just lost to the New England Patriots. So they're most likely going to be upset, or as a lot of football fans would say out there, and Bucs fans, pissed off. I know there's a lot of Bucs fans that are pissed off. So get on the phone line, 727-255-0391. I want to hear from you. We'll read some responses today. Lots of responses on I Love St. Pete, Bucs Life, on my page, the hub out there. Lots of passionate Bucs fans. That's what I like to hear. I tell you what, let's go out to my co-host. Here we go. Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of the sports web. How you doing, my friend? First and foremost, I got to ask you, how did you do yesterday with your picks? Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend.
What's happening, Pete? No, I did not have a very good day with picking, to be honest with you. It's probably my worst week of the year so far. Wow. I went a total of 4-3.
Well, not necessarily the best week for Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, because you look at the matchup, and I get it, the Atlanta Falcons only allowing 99 yards. It certainly seems like they're improved defensively. But you had the greatness of Desmond Ridder.
Oh, God. Please stop. But, since you asked me about the betting, you can just read it right here. But we're still 47-18 against the spread. 21 of those wins are underdogs on the money line. Very impressive for that. I know everybody's making a few shekels. I have done pretty well this year. But now let's get right into what you wanted to talk about, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer game. Are we back on top of the bridge, ladies and gentlemen? Does the bottom of the Skyway Bridge look palatable? Are we ready to throw Baker Mayfield and make him walk the plank? Is it really true that we're on the Trasco meter?
I got to ask you here, because Baker Mayfield did not practice today. Somewhat of a walkthrough. There could be a knee injury there. So could it be Trask time? Well, we're certainly, keep you monitored on that situation. I think there's a lot of people out there that will like the fact that he didn't practice because, look, he didn't necessarily have his best game. Was it his worst game? I mean, I think a lot of Bucs fans will go back to opportunities of trying to hold the ball too long. I think that's, wide receivers not able to get the separation. They wanted Baker to take off like he did in previous games. He didn't do that until later on. But the one glaring thing, the critical throw that you cannot make in that situation, you've got to check it off or throw it away, because you get at least points from the second to last drive. Not the last drive, the second to last one. You throw in double coverage, and a lot of people thinking right now, oh boy, here we go again with Jameis Winston. Your thoughts?
No, I mean, people are going to make errant throws. I mean, the problem with this with the team right now is not the execution. It's not the run game. It's not the passing game. It's not the defense. It's the coaching. I'm going to keep going on to it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you. This offensive coordinator was the 14th interview for this team.
Mm-hmm.
They came out of the gates really hard. There is tape now on this offense. Now, I don't know if they had a brain fart or a memory lapse, and this became Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians 2.0. I have no idea. But the games that they've lost this year have been very imbalanced. For instance, yesterday's game, 42 passes and 20 rushes. You're not set up to win that way.
I'm sorry. So if I have to see this team run in the mouth
20
of defense,
attempts.
they ran the ball 40 freaking times. They're not going anywhere. I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying, but this line cannot block. Let's get down to brass tacks. For me, the biggest disappointment is play calling and coaching, but also the offensive line and lack of running game. I'm sorry. I watched it yesterday up close. There were some holes, but those interior linemen are not moving. I don't care if you run the ball 50 freaking times. You're getting stopped for 2 to 3 yards or having a 2-yard loss. It doesn't matter at this point.
But yet they're not, I'm going to interject, but yet they're not getting to the quarterback on a consistent basis. Peter, anybody that has played this game and any offensive lineman is going to tell you it is much easier to run block than it is to pass protect.
Well, not for
the
this
issue
team.
is
not for this team. Not for this team.
But then it's an anomaly. Since the inception of football,
it's God.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers of 2023 are the only team ever in the inception of football that think it's easier to pass block than it is to run block. You have to go forward. I don't care if they ran 40 times in the game for a net of 60 yards, Peter. Okay, that's less than 2 yards a carry. You are going to stop and force safeties up into the box to make your passing game go on.
They're not.
I'm going to get passionate with it. They forgot what it's like. And if they continue to run these game plans, count on this team not executing and not making the playoffs. But if they go back to the beginning, when they were running the football, even without success, it gave them balance for the play action pass. I've watched it over. It's like a washing machine, Pete. You wash, you rinse, you repeat. That's all you got to do. The playbook's out on this team.
You want to run the ball. Right, I understand that. But you want to run the ball 40 times a game with no success.
Didn't ask for that. I'm asking for 30 rushes in the course of a game.
If I had to see 30 rushes in a game with any of these running backs, in a Keyshawn Vaughn or a White or anybody else, because I'm ready for Sean Tucker at the end of the day or to make a trade. If I had to see one of these running backs run 30 freaking times, I'm gonna pull my hair out, honestly. And I think there's a lot of Bucs fans out there. Look, don't Peter me because I watched.
Peter, they're not designed to run 40. They're not designed to pass the ball 45 times, even with Tom Brady.
At this point,
horse crap.
Really? So what changed? Okay, so let's go back to this because we've been talking about this ad nauseum during the offseason. You said run, and I said, okay, I agree with you. Okay, you had the worst rushing offense last year. What has changed from this year? It's actually worse than it was last year.
I don't know. You better start digging. You need to ask Joshua Cole Allen. Get all the PFF grades out there. I don't know.
I mean, let's look at it. Matt Filer, 59.7 Pro Football Focus grade with running 53.4. I mean, you can make fun of all the Pro Football Focus grades you want to, but look at the film. He's not moving anybody. He needs to be replaced. It needs to be Nick Leverett or somebody else. I get it. You're on a short week, but something has to change. What is the constant thing on this team at the end of the day? The offensive line not being good.
Don't talk to me like I'm a pendulum child. You ask me what the problem is, I'm going to tell you.
Like a pendulum child.
I'm going to tell you.
What's changed?
This team, it has zero creativity. It's so predictable like it was last year. It's like Byron Leftwich is sitting up in the booth calling these plays. They are running left traps. They're running a right trap. They're running it up the gut. You know what? You got to be creative. How about pull 2 guards? You don't have a statue quarterback sitting behind the line of scrimmage. You got to run 2 guards. Hey, when's the last time you seen an RPO out of this team? You mean to tell me Baker's not capable of doing it? So I don't want to hear that if you have to watch another running play off this team, I want to throw up and regurgitate in the garbage. This is why the team's not winning, Pete.
No, the reason why the team is not winning is because of the things that are constant there from last year to this year. It is the coaching staff. It is the play calling. You're correct. It's also the friggin' offensive line. It's Robert Hansey. It's the rookie there who also, you look at his grade. I know you don't like Pro Football Focus, but this is what it is. This is what it comes down to. This is what you're watching right now. Watch the tape. 42.5 Pro Football Focus grade. 34.2 run blocking. Horrible.
Shitter!
I mean, I don't care if you pull the guard. You know how you want to pull a guard? Pull the guard out of the lineup. Bench his ass. I'm tired of it. You're doing the same thing over and over again. You're exactly right about the play calling and the coaching. That's the one constant. Todd Bowles is the one constant. The offensive line on the outside has been better with the tackles there, and Tristan Wirfs and, of course, Luke Gedeke. But everybody else on this line can be replaced. That's the difference at this point. That has been the difference. That was the whole thing coming into the season. It was coaching and it was the offensive line. Could have come together. Doesn't matter how many times they run the ball. If you're running for 1-2 yards at a time, yeah, you're going to get 3rd and 6, but you're going to have no balance. Nobody's going to take you seriously. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I'm sorry, I believe in balance, but what is this team good at right now? Throwing the football. You know why? Because their offensive line is not giving up sacks. Although 3 sacks yesterday by that Atlanta defense. But overall, in the National Football League, the offensive line has done a good job with protecting Baker Mayfield.
I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
At all. At all. But the tape that I'm watching, the safeties and the corners are not even peeking into the backfield because they respect zero of the run game. And it's because they're not pursuing it. And I am going to go ahead and bring a parallel in here.
Okay.
You've got a team, I'll leave it nameless, rookie quarterback, undrafted. You bring him into game with a guy that was bagging groceries,
Bears.
both of them. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Both running backs are bagging groceries.
Yep.
There were 8 penalties, 6 on the offensive line. And by the way, out of those 6 penalties on the offensive line yesterday, they were called back with a minimum of 12 to 15-yard runs. Hold on. And they still put 180 yards down on the ground. Okay? You put them up against a Tampa defense, they may have only made a 90 or 100 yards, but it opened up the passing game. Baker Mayfield is not being put in a position. This offensive scheme that they're calling now is totally different than the offensive scheme that I seen 3 or 4 games ago, Peter. I don't care if they gain that many yards. It's all that in a bag of chips. Bring me boring football back to Tampa Bay. Pound that damn rock, impose your will, and then go for the play action pass because it will soften up a defense.
Harry, it is boring football. It's completely boring football. And
it's because you're losing.
Well, no, it's not just that, man. You're scoring 6 points against the Lions. You're scoring 11 points against the Eagles. You're scoring 13 points against the Falcons, the friggin' Falcons. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. What's your biggest disappointment from the Falcons' loss yesterday? A, play calling and coaching. B, offensive line and lack of running game. C, quarterback play. Or D, Ryan Neal and the defense. Let's go back.
Or C, all of above. And don't forget to share the show, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of work that goes in it. Post a comment. We're going to go ahead and read it live on the air. It may even give us a different narrative. Hell, we might even talk about what you ate for dinner tonight. Don't forget to give us a call. And you know what? Most importantly, hit that like button and share it to someone else's page.
All right, let's lead it off. Let's go out to the tribal troll here.
Acknowledge me.
Roger Shue, what do you have to say? What's your biggest disappointment? All right, I acknowledged you. What's your biggest disappointment?
My Greekite himself.
Oh, God.
Greekites are in the house in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Trust.
Let me ask you. Let me throw this out there. Let me throw that out there for you guys because it's going to be thrown out there anyway. So let's just do it right now. If Kyle Trask is running this team right now and going forward, does he do any better than Baker Mayfield has done? Yes or no?
No.
Simple answer. Okay, good. You, Roger.
Okay, I couldn't hear you. What was your question?
Okay, well,
I'll ask it. If Baker Mayfield was out right now and Kyle Trask was in, do you think there would be a different result? I said no.
I agree. No, there wouldn't.
Okay. So what's the biggest disappointment? I know you're not a Bucs fan. I know you're a Bears fan. But in your opinion, what's the biggest disappointment?
Oh, yeah, that's right. By the way, Greek, it is Victory Monday.
Yes,
Right.
it is. It's Victory Monday in the house.
It's Victory Monday for you guys. And by the way, you're going to cost yourselves a number 1 pick. But just
No, they're not. They got Carolinas. What are you kidding me?
Okay, whatever. You could have the 1 and 2 pick, and instead you're trying to win games. Victory Monday for you guys. All right, enough of you. Roger, what's the biggest disappointment in that Falcons loss for the Bucs?
I would say, how do you get 3 turnovers from Atlanta and not be able to score points on any of them?
So the defense and Ryan Neal. Okay, well, you could definitely make a case for that, especially with Atlanta's 3rd down conversion and this defense. But to that point, I will be fair to the defense. They haven't been able to get off the field because their offense is 2 yards in a cloud of dust.
I mean, Atlanta should have whooped you.
Well, they didn't because the defense kept them in the game. So what else?
Okay, so what do you think is the bigger question? The O-line or the coaching? Or is it a mixture?
It's the O-line. It's a combination, but honestly, it's the coaching right now. They're so generic, it's not even funny.
I agree.
I mean, seriously, it's so generic, it's not even funny.
I mean,
it's like Matt Eberflus is coaching the Bucs.
Well,
I think Matt right now is doing a better job.
I would say that, and I would also say that the Bears have found a way the last 2 to 3 years to have a running game, even with the greatness of Tom Brady. The running game wasn't there last year, and guess what? It's gotten worse this year. And guess what the constants are? The coaching, the play calling, and of course, your offensive line, your interior line. There, it's just not working. It's not. And I'm frustrated like a lot of Bucs fans
Peter,
out there.
Have you jumped off the Todd Bowles bandwagon?
I don't know where to think at this point.
No, I'm not. I'm going to answer that for Peter. No, he's not. He's not off the bandwagon for Todd Bowles. They've lost a couple of games. This is strictly a coaching decision. Todd Bowles is not responsible for calling the offensive plays. He's been more instrumental on the defense, and he's starting to impose a few things. Trust me, they're going to get this righted around. And don't be too surprised. I know everybody wants to commit Harry Carey because they've lost this game, just like they lost against Detroit. You know what? It doesn't look good going to Buffalo. They may or may not lose, but you know what? Minnesota's beating the brakes off of San Francisco right now, 10-0, or I'm sorry, 10-7 right now. But whoever thought that was going to happen? If Tampa could run the ball, what is Buffalo God? No. Are they the 85 Bears? Definitely not.
No, in fact, the matchup would say they're 31st against the run. So there's a great opportunity there. I don't know where to go here. I mean, I've been saying this. I said this against Atlanta. I said this against Detroit. You got to run the ball. They haven't been able to do it all year long, besides maybe the Saints with, rushing for over 100 yards. I'm not sure if this guy White is the answer. I'm just not sure. He might be a good 3rd down option to catch the ball in the backfield, but maybe the Bucs need to go with Sean Tucker. Maybe the Bucs need to go outside of the organization. Maybe
I don't think that's the case, Pete. And you asked me, you said something about the defense. No one's pointing out the defense. Nothing personal, Buck fans, but Devin White should be on your milk carton. Okay, I haven't seen him playing very well at all. Okay, I mean he's on the back of a milk carton.
I agree. Maybe,
you want to get paid? Here, hang on. Get out of here, man. I mean, 3 weeks ago, you guys are like, pay. Don't forget to pay Mike Evans. Pay him. All of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, wait a minute. He dropped 6 passes, so he must be washed up. And then I says, don't worry. Now, in this week, I says all of a sudden he's going to be a god again. But he looked like Mike Evans of old, didn't he? Look, man.
Well,
this is the National Football League. Mm-hmm. You're going to have your ups and downs. It's not all about the talent that you surround yourself with. Believe me, I'm living it firsthand with what's going on in Chicago. It's not about all your talent. You need talent to win, but you need a coaching staff to get you over the hump. I'm telling you, Peter, this is a coaching issue. They will get it straightened out. Todd Bowles he knows he needs to get it straightened out. And they need the ball. They need to run the ball around the edges, and let's get the quarterback out of the pocket a little bit.
Here's my take. If the Bucs end up, like I said before in preseason, if the Bucs end up going between 6 and 8 wins, does Canella still have a job?
I don't know if Todd Bowles still has a job if you don't win this division. I don't know.
I think they're both in the hot seat.
I mean, it gets to that point where
I don't think Bowles is in a hot seat here.
Really?
No, I really don't. I still think this division's up to be played. I mean, I think this division still easily had. Atlanta's not a powerhouse team. I watched the game very intently yesterday. The Buccaneers didn't lose that game. They kind of gave it to them. It's the weirdest thing I ever seen. And the imbalance of coaching, the play calling was just atrocious, Pete.
Well,
It
and
was absolutely atrocious.
I'll give you a terrible example here of why Todd Bowles could be on the hot seat eventually. You have 3 timeouts, you have 17 seconds before halftime, and you decide to go into the locker room. Instead of having some faith in your offense to go down and at least maybe get a field goal, get close, you go into the locker room satisfied. That's not going to get it done, and that's the reason why a lot of NFL general managers stay away from defensive-minded coaches because of being conservative like that. And look, Todd Bowles has had his moments, right? I didn't agree with going for 4th and 6 on the 50 with the first drive. I didn't agree with that. He's had moments this year where he's taken chances and it's paid off. It didn't pay off yesterday. But that right there, that decision in itself does not make any sense. You have 3 timeouts. You have an offense that has the momentum. Shaq Barrett causes the fumble with Kalijah Cansey. Put your offense on the field. Let them work. Let Baker work. You got Evans and freaking Chris Godwin and Trey Palmer with all this talented wide receivers, and you can't find a way. You can't find a way, Todd Bowles and coaching staff, to get them down there for a field goal. There's no way at all we could use one of those timeouts. You can't take the timeouts with you.
I know, just like, another head coach. You see, you wouldn't be talking about this, not holding this timeout in his pocket, had the Bucs won, i.e., with the Chicago Bears yesterday in the first half. He left 3 timeouts sitting on the board with a rookie Division II quarterback playing in the game. And right before halftime, I mean, he had 2 minutes to go. Never called the timeout. Clock's tick, 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 tick. It's like, we're just going to just get up there when we can. For what? I didn't get it. And the reason why they're not talking about it in Chicago, it's because they won.
Because we won the game.
That's the only reason why. So they're really nitpicking this in Tampa. Look, it's bad coaching right now. And you're right. Todd Bowles could have called the timeout, but you don't know all the particulars into the game. You don't know if they were trying not to call a timeout to keep the offense on the field, not to give the defense a chance to go ahead and substitute, Pete. That could be it as well. But, I mean, we can second guess everything. Go ahead, Troll.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the chat. Christopher Cole says Devin White and Neal need to be benched. What are your thoughts?
I agree.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, look, if Devin White wanted to earn another contract, I'm sorry. The best linebacker on this team right now is Levante David still and forever. He is the ageless wonder. He's making plays. He's the most consistent defensive player. I don't know what happened to this guy, Ryan Neal. He completely looks lost in the sauce. He was out of position yesterday. He has one of the lowest Pro Football Focus grades.
Oh, God, stop.
I gotta put it out.
Pro Football grades.
Pro Football Focus grades. I mean,
oh my God,
47.
It's garbage.
It's not.
That's right. It is garbage.
47% grade. 45%. Well. I mean, so is Neal. I mean, you don't have to have the grades to know what Neal has done so far. I mean, how many blown freaking coverages has Ryan Neal had this year, Roger Shue?
All right, real quick. We have Anthony Richardson in the chat. He says Donovan Smith is about to win another Super Bowl, laughing at the sorry Bucs.
All right. Thanks a lot, Roger. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for answering my question. All right. I don't need somebody to moderate there. I need somebody to answer the question for me. If you don't want to look at grades, you don't want to respect grades, that's fine. But look at the freaking tape. Look at the game time situation.
That's exactly what I do. I look at tape. I analyze. That's why I'm 47-18. I'll tell you what I don't do is I don't use analytics. And I definitely don't look at PFF grades. I watch to see what it is. Let me go back to a previous corner that had a very poor grade with the Buccaneers, and it's on the tip of my tongue. Sean Murphy Bunting. And if you remember, we were all sitting at the Deck Bar and Grill. We were working on a different platform, and we were talking about it. And I said, "Look, man," I says, "they were playing the Giants," and I says, "I'm telling you, a lot of people don't like him because he gets burned a lot." I said, "But he can, if he actually starts getting to that football, he's going to look like $1 million, Pete. And it's exactly what started happening. He started taking more chances. You don't want people to start losing that it factor of going after the ball. What do you want? Tampa 2, 24/7? Sit back and hand them off to the
Oh,
safety?
this team can't
Right.
play zone.
No,
This team can't play zone at all. They've
no,
shown that. They've
but-
been lost in that too.
But the thing I'm trying to say is this. PFF grades, they do give you a rating on a player. But what it doesn't see is that one particular cornerback who's going after an interception that all of a sudden he gave up 6 because he was being too aggressive. Okay, but it doesn't offset the pick that he just made. You know, there are all different kind of things that are happening with PFF grades that they're nice to look at. They're somewhat accurate, but I got to
tell you something.
not
Neal has
respect
done absolutely nothing this year at all. It's been crickets. He's right up there with Devin White at this point. If you want to give anybody a contract extension, you give Levante David and you give Antoine Winfield Jr. a contract extension at this point. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We'll go out to the comments. Lots of comments here. Again, the question for the night, biggest disappointment from the Falcon loss. Play calling and coaching, number 1. B or 2, offensive line and lack of running game. Number 3, quarterback play or Ryan Neal in the defense. It's out there. Super chats are open. Facebook stars are open. Give to the content if you like to. Thank you very much, Roger Shue. Can you make this quick? Raw is on. Listen, Anthony, I'm not going to play around with you tonight, Troy. If you want to watch freaking professional wrestling, go right ahead. Nobody put a gun to your head and say, watch the sports web. Nobody asked you to come here and troll every night. It's a privilege for you, okay? So if you don't want to watch the show, you don't want to contribute to the show, besides absolutely nothing, get the hell out of here. Roger Shue, let's go back out to it. That's a gimmick infringement not allowed here. Roger Shue, what's up, Troy? Sitting, what's up, Peter Blake? What's going on?
Oh, yeah!
Bring back Troy. No, Troy's not coming back. You are Troy. You're a moron. I'm not reading your comments anymore unless you bring something to the table. Can't bring back Troy. Pete won't let me. All right, let's go out to Christine Bishop. Hello, love. How you been? I've been okay.
What's up, Christine?
A little fired up tonight. Just a little bit.
16-7, by the way, your update.
And most likely the Vikings will blow that lead.
I'm sure they will, but what I'm just saying is, I mean, on any given Sunday.
But you know what? There is that whole thought process of any given Sunday. I know coming up Thursday night, most likely this Bucs team, it's going to be very difficult to run the ball. Very difficult. I hope that they can do it. I'm an eternal optimist, but my optimism right now is waning. All right, glad my Bears finally found a real quarterback. Fields can move to the XFL. Okay, Ben, all of the above, Peter, as far as the problems you listed the Bucs are having right now. Roger Shue, Badgen is our quarterback. Let's see here. Andrew Fulbert, the big board. What a weird weekend for bets. Thanks
Absolutely.
a lot. Let's see here. Sitting, I hope not. No trash. Roger Shue in the name. Okay. Got that. Greekites in the house. Julian, it's Todd Bowles. Get him out. That has been a lot of fans today have said it's coaching. It's Todd Bowles. And again, I have my doubts about it.
So we're not saying it's the offensive coordinator. Just throwing it out there.
Is it the offensive coordinator? Is it his first year calling plays? Yes. Have defensive coordinators maybe found out what the Bucs are doing? Possibly. But it's on the head coach, the coaching staff. Where are you at, Harold Godwin, at this point? Run coordinator, what's going on here? Make some adjustments. Change some things up. Change the freaking offensive line. Change the defensive secondary that right now looks overpaid. Change something up. Change it up. All right, let's see here. They don't have a power rusher. Is so overrated. Boy can't run for 2 yards. Andrew, going to Trask is not the answer. We cannot beat good teams, but throwing him out there is not the right time. Let's go out to Roger. I told you before the season, there is no holes to hit the O-line is the problem. Roger, Bucs are a 6 to 8 win team, but that should be good enough to win the division. I'm not
6
sure.
wins. 8 wins, maybe, not 6.
I don't know if 6 is good enough at this point. I think
eight could get the trick done this year.
Jim says, this has a feel to me of ending up as a 4 to 6 game losing streak. Right, Peter? Thank you. Let's go out to Roger. Pete, Quit being a homer. Listen to the Greek. Coaching is crap. So is all false. When did I say, let me go full screen again? Because you obviously don't listen and you don't hear. You obviously didn't turn up your hearing aid. Age is getting to you. It's a factor in your life. When did I start being a homer? When did I say I was being a homer? I've said the offensive line is not good. You need to make changes. The coaching is not good. You need to make changes. The defense is not good. Now, can you hear that? Can you listen? Can you understand now, Roger Shue? Are you done trolling me now? Is everybody else done out there trolling me? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Did we get that clear? Is that clear? Is that it? It's cold now. Okay. Yes, I am the daddy. Daddy is home.
I'm sitting in the corner.
Daddy is home. That's right.
Can
Daddy
the Greek come out and play?
Oh, God. All right. Dana Honeycomb says, eyes. Thank you. Trask will do worse. I agree. Christopher Cole, everything is a disappointment with this team. Rob, the biggest disappointment is how we didn't punt on the first possession and it cost us 7 points. Care to elaborate on that, Harry the Greek? Did you like the decision of going forward on 4th and 6 at the 50-yard line? Yes or no?
Well, that's an easy answer for me. They lost yesterday, so no, I hated the decision. Now, if they won yesterday, are we even talking about it? No.
Okay. Well, you're right about that, but now you are talking about it. Everything at this juncture is being magnified. 727-255-0391.
That's what I want to do. Can we talk about PFF grades, please?
You want to talk about more Pro Football Focus?
Sure,
grades?
I'd love more PFF grades.
E. Delaney, who should be replacing Ryan Neal, but because it's a short week, most likely they won't make that call here. D. Delaney, Pro Football Focus, when he was starting in the New Orleans game. By the way, they won that game, and they got off the field, and they held the Saints in check and didn't have any coverage breakdowns. Amazing. Football is just an amazing game. You don't have the breakdowns because you got the players. You put the players in the right situation. 73.2 on the Pro Football Focus grade. Coverage grade, 70.3. Let's compare. I'm not a mathematician. I didn't even pass math in college. Let's go out to Ryan Neal. 47% Pro Football Focus grade. I get he's played more games, but the proof is in the pudding. 45.2 coverage.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have someone to bring on here. If you don't mind, Peter.
We're going to have to hold on because I'm going to read the rest of these comments, and then I'm on Tampa Bay Radio.
Yeah, I see. I feel the same way you do back there, Ray.
Well, he can go ahead and fill the way he wants to. You can fill each other if you want to. I'm going to go out to the phone lines. Welcome.
Feel each other?
That's right. I said it. Welcome to the Evolution.
We're transitioning again.
You shut up and be quiet. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, Peter? What's going on, Harry? Tough loss yesterday.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Probably should have won the game. I have no idea what Ryan Neal was doing. If he just tackles them, you're gonna have to force Atlanta to take a timeout probably go to overtime.
Thank you.
I mean, can't run the ball. Hopefully, you can run the ball against Buffalo. I think they're in the 21st, 22nd ranked.
31st. They're 31st against the run this year. Terrible. Okay.
Come on, can't you do that like Charles?
In top 10.
Terrible. All right.
It's not terrible. It's turbo.
Turbo.
It's T-E-R-B-E-L. Turbo.
Yeah, turbo. Okay. All right. I agree with everything you're saying at this point. What's your biggest disappointment? Is it play calling and coaching, number 1? Number 2, offensive line and lack of running game? Number 3, quarterback play? Or number 4, Ryan Neal in the defense?
A little bit of everything.
You can't be a whoosh. You got to give us one that really stands out.
Give me one here. Give me one, Mike.
Play calling.
There you go. You see, the Greek is right again.
Well, I never said you weren't right about this. I said, in fact, it was one of the constants that's on this team as the coaching. He changed the offensive staff, but he still exists on the coaching staff. That would be Todd Bowles.
Peter, we love you anyway, buddy.
I love you too. All right. What else, Mike?
Mike, it's Eric.
Eric, I'm sorry.
Eric, man, it's
I'm
Eric.
sorry. I'm getting confused here. Eric, go ahead.
Eric, the problem with Peter is he's getting to be what, 45? You know,
I am
Hey,
45.
I'm old. I'm 29.
they
I'm
say
old, man.
the first thing you lose is your memory.
He's 29. Get out if you think that's old. All right, we'll switch gears. I'll be.
No, I'm talking about you, Peter.
Well, I'm talking about you because you're older than me. So what's that say for you? Be quiet.
Hang on. You know what it says for me? I'm 47 and 18. Just ask Ray Kennedy.
And you didn't have a great week this week, so stop.
No, I didn't.
That's
I
fine.
didn't. But hold on.
You're great for 65, man.
I'm sorry?
I said you're great for 65.
Hang on, Eric. I got something for you. Hold on.
No.
No. It's right here in the pocket. There you go, Eric.
Oh my God, 65.
65? Really?
65? Woo!
You said 47 and 18.
47 record. Wow.
I have never done that live on the air, by the way, but I wanted to give that to you, Eric.
Oh, geez.
My bad.
All right, Eric. What else? See, you scared him away
memory.
with the finger there. What's that all about, Harry?
Short-term memory.
Okay.
Got to win Thursday. We're lucky we play in a sucky division. Maybe 9-8 gets done.
Yep.
Wild card team. The NFC is not as strong.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We'll
The Eagles showed you last night.
Times are bad, man. I just flicked somebody off live on the air. I can't believe it. Does that still count? Is that bad? I didn't say it out loud, though.
I didn't mean to.
Eric,
You
it's
said
okay.
47-18.
You get a second call, Eric.
Hey, I'm stuck with the 65 thing here, Eric. I'm scarred forever.
All right, whatever. Okay, Eric, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you as always.
Oh, yeah.
All right, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We'll get out to Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy in just a moment. Devin White and Neil need to be benched. He's eating dinner. Okay, well, good.
I can see it.
Guys, I can see it too. Still pissed after this loss. This team needs to clean it up. Shayna Honeycombs, Bulls had a ticket. I guess he is eating spaghetti. Well, that's what happens when your wife goes out of town. You know, you gotta make do with what you have. You know, I always say I'm gonna put this on a shirt. You know, it's not thick thighs save lives, which they may. I'm not offending anybody.
What?
Air fryers save lives, okay? Get yourself an air fryer if you can't cook, because shut up. Going into my kitchen on a Saturday night is like going out in Florida on a summer day. Everything burns, okay? So get yourself an air fryer if you're like me. We got a left guard, right guard who are not good right now. They're not ready. Also, our running back room is mid at best. Also, how the hell does Sneak Vaughn get more playing time than Tucker? Dude is not good. Make some sense of that, because all we've heard from Todd Bowles, the reason why Keyshawn Vaughn is getting the starts and ahead of Sean Tucker right now, because he's practicing better than Tucker. Are you tired? Have you seen enough of Keyshawn Snake Vaughn?
Me?
Yes.
Keyshawn Vaughn?
Yes.
Hold on. You need to bring Ray in there, because he's going to tell you exactly what I think about Keyshawn Vaughn.
Well,
I'll say it again.
Let me give you stats.
He was done.
Uh-huh.
After that game a couple of years ago, when he played the Chicago Bears and they had the game in hand, and all of a sudden he had the case of the oopsies because he got his bell rang. He has never been the same since. And Ray will tell you the same thing.
Well, here's the stats for the year. 19 carries, 32 yards.
Shut it! That's good enough to suck right there.
What's the average carry? What is that, 1.8 a carry? That's not going to get it done.
At least they're trying.
How about no?
Let's go out to Todd. Mike Stover here. Todd Bowles is too stubborn to make adjustments. He knows the glaring issue, but he'd rather choke on his conviction than fix the problem. Agree?
No, I do not agree.
Okay.
No coach really wants to lose, and he's searching for a way to win. You got a first-year, offensive coordinator. Again, Mike, let me remind you, he was the 14th interview that the Buccaneers had for an OC. They kind of ran out of options.
I'm not sour on him. I just think again,
I'm not happy with him.
Well,
I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah. Shane
20 rushes, 42 passes. Let's go back to last week. 16 rushes, 37 pass attempts. Yeah, there's a pattern there, guys.
Well, is that him or is that Todd Bowles?
Oh, come on. Todd Bowles is not. Please.
I don't know.
This isn't last year's mystery Who's really calling the plays? Is it Bruce Arians?
We
Is
heard.
it the water boy? Is it the guy that's cleaning the shitter?
Is it
No, it was Byron Leftwich, okay?
Oh, okay, so what has changed? It's gotten worse.
It's Dave Canales. No, it hasn't gotten worse. This team's still playing better than they did last year.
But
it's going to play just fine. Just talk to me after Thursday.
Okay.
Calm down, guys.
I'm just saying what's out there. You know,
Ray, can you bring some across the street, please? Don't look at me like that through the screen.
Ray,
I'm hungry.
Stand by. We're going to get out to you. Shut up, Harry, and be quiet. Shayna is laughing at you, and probably me too. Jim, you hold someone to 16, you should win. The Browns allowed 38-1. Shayna, Sean, I guess. She's saying Sean Murphy Bunting.
I know. They're all going to make fun of me, Sean Murphy Bunting, because he's not doing
going out in Tennessee. What does that say?
It was an example. Okay, it was an example when he had a very poor PFF grade, but I think he was one of the heroes in the playoffs.
Well,
just saying.
Everybody was a hero in that postseason. It seemed like they peaked because ever since Devin White had that postseason, he's done absolutely nothing. All right, why isn't Light trying to make a trade? Maybe trade for a lineman or look for a free agent for some help, because linemen are not growing on trees, KR. Thanks a lot for the comment. We'll see after this week, because the trading deadline, it so happens, is Halloween. So hopefully the Bucs don't go ghost on the trading deadline. You like that? That's good. Shayna is laughing her ass off, having a good time. Good. And coaching. Shayna again, laugh my ass off.
Oh, hang on. What did you just skip over that?
What? Well, let me see.
This one right here? Oh, yeah.
Great content, Greek. Yes, and thank you very much for the money, because I'll take that, and I'm also
I know
that money.
You see that, right, Ray? That was $10 for the Greek. He's $10. Keeping it.
I usually get 20. Yo, Harry, Bunting is so great, the Titans are having him warm the bench. Laugh my ass off. Wait, do you have a troll? I'm crying. We do. His name is Anthony Richardson, Colts Messiah, Troy Polamalu, whatever he wants to be, whatever he wants to identify on this show as. You can, and he has. We identify him as a troll. Buffalo is pissed too. KR, also our offensive line coach, is mid at best. He needs to go on the changeup. Anthony Richardson, say what you want about me. At least I never turn my back on you guys from... Oh, God. Do you want me to get rid of New Troy? No, just keep him around. Love a Peter Rant. Thank you, KR. Appreciate you. The Falcons coaching staff owns Todd Bowles, and it's not a good one. Laugh out loud. Anthony, Andrew, somebody clip Peter saying daddy is home. I sure will do that, big board. Everyone, Shadow is here. Welcome, Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a Greek, we got a troll, we got a tribal troll, and now we got a freaking Shadow.
I'm afraid of the Shadow, but I want to know one thing.
Who is afraid of the Shadow?
Me. I just that it kind of creeps me out. But if you get to the last of the comments, I got to give someone some props. But go ahead, keep reading.
Okay, we love Pro Football Focus grades. Let's make it a segment on the show. We shall. Pro Football Focus ratings are the real life equivalent of Madden ratings. Okay, I mean, I guess that's fair to say that, but I think some of that stuff is kind of accurate. They do, some of the research, or just not throwing something against the wall. Shayna having a good time still. Hi, Tampa Bay Ray. Dan, Ryan Neal has been terrible. How is he still a starter? Well, Pro Football Focus says he's terrible too. So how can he say it's any different than anything else? Shayna still laughing. Bulls has a fantasy team. Phil, did we see a single bootleg for Baker yesterday, especially on third downs? Did Canales completely forget what has made the team successful before the bye week? I have no idea. We got to have the worst running back room in the league. We could get back to that. When does the air fryer reporter infomercial air? 2 a.m.? Who knows?
Stop right there. Bring that quote back up.
Yes. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kenny Nagast. Okay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correct. If you get a chance, go to Facebook, go to 806 Sports Radio. They're out of Amarillo, Texas. You guys want some good content? They not only talk about what's going on in Texas, but they talk about everything. Let me tell you something. Make sure you tune in to 806 Sports Radio on Facebook. It's a great morning show. It's usually in the mornings, and you never know. Every once in a while, you get the Greek to appear on there, and he gives them some pretty solid picks. And by the way, I want to know when that air infomercial that's going to be starting for that air fryer, Pete.
Again, air fryers save lives. Just keep it there. If thick thighs aren't saving your lives, then air fryers will. All right, write it down. We could have had Todd Monken, but he picked the Ravens over us. 2 giant goop balls. Half that 10 is for Harry. Okay. Yep. What's the holdover from BA and Leftwich offense's 2 coaches? OL coach and the running game coordinator. Tell you what, let's go out to the shadow. Welcome to the Evolution.
Bring Ray on.
We'll bring Ray on in just a moment. Stand by, Ray. Shadow, what do you have?
I'm afraid of shadows.
You shut up and
I'm
be
wondering
quiet.
why the Greek is scared of me.
I don't know why he's scared of me. I think he's just I think he's just saying that, Jeremiah. Welcome to the Evolution. What's on your mind? What's the biggest disappointment from that Falcons loss? Is it play calling and coaching? Is it offensive line and lack of running game? Is it quarterback play? Or is it Ryan Neal and the defense?
I think it's the back end.
Back end. So Ryan Neal and the defense. So you ready to replace him? Why is that? Why is Ryan Neal and the defense the biggest disappointment after yesterday?
Because we paid him way too much money.
Okay. Well, you got him on a 1-year contract, so you didn't pay him a lot of money. So more than likely, he's either going to get benched or he'll be out of Tampa Bay if he continues to play like this.
Right.
What else?
It's play calling. I'll definitely say that.
So you're just a shadow at this point. You're trying to shadow me and try to shadow Harry. That's what he is. That's why he's called the shadow. He's shadowing us.
No.
Okay.
It is play calling.
Play calling.
I can tell you that.
Play calling and coaching. That's the biggest
The
disappointment.
play calling is atrocious, man. It is. It's just absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, we don't have the talent to do what they want to do.
No, they don't. Not right now. They don't.
All right. Anything else here, Shadow?
I just wanted to call in and ask why Harry was scared of me.
Oh, I'm not scared of you.
I don't
It's just the word shadow. I think it's funny.
Nobody's scared of you, Jeremiah. You're always welcome here on the Evolution. Use that second call if you want to. All right, my friend?
All right, boss.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Nobody's scared of that guy. He's not harmless. He's harmless. He is harmless, not harmful. Let's see here. Half that is 10. Okay. There you go. I mean, that's a good point right there. KR, Daddy is Home t-shirts need to be printed up ASAP. Only the shadow knows, says Roger Shue. Tyson Badgett for starting quarterback. Make Fields a running back. Laugh out loud, says 2 giant goop balls. I agree with 2 giant goop balls. Real talk, Justina is better off being a running back. Anthony, again, I used to tell you guys all the time he was a bust. Roger Shue, I saw Pete burn water. Very true. I could burn a grilled cheese. True story. A bad in is horrible. Sounds like that part is on the bubble. Absolutely. Aim higher, Shadow. Jim says, I'm not sure who the best running back in the NFL at the moment, but I'm sure that if you put that player on the Bucs, the running game would improve. Agree or disagree, Harry? And then we'll get out to Ray after this last comment.
Run the football.
Okay. But if you put the best running back on this team behind the offensive line, I don't even know if it helps at this point. So I don't know, Jim. I guess you could say it would help. Play calling is horrible. My concern is that going under 500 will hurt this team's confidence. All right, let's get out to Tampa Bay. Ray Kennedy.
Finally.
Of the Bay. Sorry, my friend. Lots of comments. Wanted to read your general thoughts. I'm going to ask you the question as I asked the fans today on social media. What is the biggest disappointment after losing to the Falcons? Is it play calling and coaching? Is it offensive line and lack of running game? Is it quarterback play? Or is it Ryan Neal in the defense? Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television, my friend.
Thank you, brothers. Biggest disappointment, yes. Thank you, Mr. Harry. Biggest disappointment was another wasted defensive effort. And Buccaneer fans, have you heard this before? 1998, 99, 2000, 2001, the Buccaneer history, 76, 77, 78 Buccaneers. The defense held this. I'm sorry. Okay, Arthur Smith's offense is still a little bit young, but they got Pitts, they got London, they got an inconsistent quarterback, but they didn't even put Bijan in there. They have a pretty good running stable. Our defense put in a great effort. And once again, just like last year, the defense is looking to sue the offense for lack of support, because at the end of the day, that's the biggest disappointment for me, was another wasted defensive performance.
Well,
yeah, thank you.
And
Sorry.
Harry's past his bedtime. That's what happens when you're 65.
I got 9 more minutes.
I get it. I get it. 9 more minutes, and then you're out of here.
I'm on the Leo Haggerty pitch clock.
Well, I guess you are. But here's the thing here, guys. You would talk about the defense. They're not able to get off the field, whether that's the offense not able to sustain drives, but also way too many rushing yards given up. And I'm looking at you, Devin White. Levante David continues, Ray, to be the best linebacker on this team. Why? If Devin White wants to earn another contract, has he just kind of disappeared at this point. We talked about a ghost for Halloween. He's kind of like Casper the Ghost at this point.
The thing is, again, Pete, the thing is, you leave your defense out there for 58 minutes and 30 seconds, there's going to be flaws. Levante David, totally. He's the guy who deserves a $100 million contract, and you're just happy that he's back for his 13th season. But, this defense kept his Falcons offense in check. And it's like, you got to sustain drives. And again, I talked to a lot of people that were there. So you yourself were there, and great job, you and JP, locking it down with the post-game show. Brother, beautiful shot from the sideline.
Thank you.
But thank you. Our defense has got their hands on their hips because, again, our offense is a little better than last year. So it's not 3 and out on every drive, but literally it's a first down. And then how bad does it hurt, of course, that it's Scotty Miller? I mean, that's not a big pass. And it's like he was covered pretty well. It was a pretty darn good throw. I mean, there was some things yesterday. The Falcons got better quarterback play than the Bucs did. We seem to have a guy in the pocket that likes to dance a lot. I'm just saying.
Well, I seen someone post something on Facebook. And it was Mr. Blake Anthony, and I kind of thought about it. Just saying, if this team scores 20 points, they'd have only one loss.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the offense. You're absolutely correct. I think it's offense that definitely needs to be blamed for it, and I get what Blake is saying. I understand what Blake is saying, but also if you want to be a top-notch defense, you have to be able to get off the field also. So to me, it's a collaborative effort by both of these teams. The offense is not doing their job. The defense is getting worn out, but they're also not doing their job early. So it's a combination of things. Who would I fault more at the end of the day? I would fault the offense because they haven't scored enough points. Again, going back to it, I'm not a math major. I did not pass math in college, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see if you score 11 points against the Eagles, they score 25. Not going to get it done. If you score 6 points versus the Detroit Lions, no matter if you have the 85 Bears defense, not going to get it done. And
they would have. They would have won 6-3 if it was the 85 Bears defense.
I don't know about that.
Wait a minute, Pete, Harry, I'm sorry. I got a call coming in. Oh, it's the 2001 Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. They're like, you got 3 turnovers and kept them out of the end zone. You put 10 points on the board, and they just – wait, what was that? Oh, yeah, Warren Sapp just said, damn, come on, guys. At home?
Yeah, you had
really.
You had 4 turnovers in that game.
So, Ray, I'm going to ask you before Peter does. What is the biggest problem with this team right now?
The fact that your star running back, Rachaad White, was a receiver coming in from Arizona State, and that's the guy that needs to get off. But your defenses are playing the Buccaneers. They're covering the short pass and the run in the same play because our offense isn't getting downfield. They're not grading any roads. But they're also providing a pretty good pocket. I mean, at the end of the day, I know Baker does the good. He does move around. He's a great improviser. But this offensive line is providing a pocket. It's almost like they were blocking last year for Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, I mean, and what's the main constant at the end of the day, gentlemen? We changed the offensive line around. You got rid of Donovan Smith, the human turnstile, which, by the way, he's like OJ in Kansas City, getting away with murder with all the holding calls that he has every game. But that's neither here nor there because he's in a Chiefs uniform. He's the Teflon Don of the NFL now. But you get rid of the human turnstile and Donovan Smith. You move Tristan Wirfs over. He becomes the best left tackle in the league. You change the left guard. He's nothing right now. The center is the same center. He's regressed. You have a rookie right guard, and you have Luke Gedeke, who's been very good on the outside. So what is the constant besides the offensive line and the coaching at the end of the day?
That is your constants right there. And again, Todd Bowles, I get it, defensive-minded coach. Last year, we didn't know who was calling the offense. It was Byron Leftwich. It was Tom Brady. It was, a lot of stuff going on. This year, it's all in. And, of course, Dave Canales is the guy that Jason Light, Todd Bowles hired to come in here and be your offense coordinator, as Harry said after the 14th interview. No rhythm. Just no rhythm. And it sometimes it only takes one play. And, man, I hope they can find that play early against Buffalo this week in Buffalo because that's a tall order on a short week. Both teams are on a short week, but going to Buffalo. But, again, you go back a couple of years, we match up well against a team like Buffalo, and they got beat by New England. But the problem at the end of the day is going into this game, I said it's an attitude game. It's a benchmark game. Now we have to see how this team's going to react on the road against a pretty darn good AFC team who's going to come out pretty hungry. So you got to find that offensive rhythm.
All right, let's go back out to the comments here. Let's see here. 49ers are awful without Trent Williams, 2 giant goofballs. So are you mad he is friendly, collaborative? That's just a mediocre offense, and they win the division. Is Trask up to the task? That has been asked a lot by social media. I asked Harry about it. If you make the move
There's
here,
the Trasco meter out there again.
Is Trask the answer, or is it still Baker, in your opinion, Ray Kennedy?
I would have said, going back to last game, the first interception, Baker was doing a good job, but the trajectory, it was blocked by a middle linebacker 10 yards and back. So you're like, okay, what would the chosen one? Of course, Kyle Trask, who put a couple of first rounders and go back to Manville High in Florida, backed up some dogs, always seems ready to go. Truth is, he's on his last year of his contract too, or second to last year. So even Kyle, if he comes in and ball, may not be your alternative for 2024. I mean, I just don't buy it that this team's crappy enough to be in a quarterback sweepstakes. But then some people are like, it's a deeper quarterback pool. But if they don't, look at the next 4 games. I'm sorry, Harry, go ahead.
If they lose the next 2 games, Ray.
Yeah.
Kyle Trask is playing.
Buffalo, Texans, then Titans, and then we lock it up with a nice road trip to the 49ers.
The next 2 games, if they lose, you will see Kyle Trask after that.
Yeah,
you have to.
And you're going to have to because, you lose to Buffalo, you're 3-4. You got 10 days to get them ready. I don't necessarily think Baker is the biggest problem with this team. He hasn't been helped. But, going back to that critical throw yesterday, I think you would agree with me, Ray. You've got to check it down or you got to get rid of it. You can't make that throw in double coverage. And it certainly seemed like Mayfield – his mind was set that he was going to try to force the ball, and at the end of the day, you get no points, and that's costly.
Yep.
But it's the reason why you love this kid, we know he's off script, but he's the Heisman Trophy winner, Oklahoma, just a dog that's going to do some stuff. He's going to do 3 quarters. He's going to do 50% not to lose the game, 25% to make magic happen, and 25% where he's just going to be a little bit lost. It's just because he's an off script, out of the pocket type of where his strength lies.
All right, open phone lines.
Am I dropping bad things right here?
Oh, no, not at all. You're not. I love the points that you have. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. You're exactly right. It's what you love about Baker. You love the fact that he was decisive. He's making decisions. He's running the ball. He did lead this team down to, tying with the 31-yard play, which, by the way, is awful if he has to be one of your leading rushers on a 31-yard run late in the fourth quarter. Once again, you have no running game. It's just,
on the year, not just in this game, but on the year. That 35-yard play might put him at number 2 on the Buccaneers rushers on 2023. That's a sad fact.
All right, let's change gears here. Let's go. Let me go back out to the comments here, and then I'll ask you this and see what you guys think. They didn't really keep the Falcons' offense in check. Don't forget, they had 2 fluky fumbles when they were about to score a touchdown, 3 fumbles in scoring territory. And, of course, Antoine Winfield Jr. making a play that this is the reason why, guys, he deserves a contract extension. Harry, talk about Antoine Winfield Jr. and his play this year.
He's playing really well. I think he's going to play himself right into a contract extension. If he doesn't, it's going to be a total shame, and he'll end up going to the New York Jets.
Okay, he's not going to go to the New York Jets. Stop it. They're not going to allow him to get out. They're not going to let another safety go to the Jets. Stop it. They're going to lock him up. That's the reason why.
I'm just trying to get everybody to follow me to the top of the skyway, and let's jump. Because tell me what happens after Thursday when this team plays competitive. That's all.
I mean, but what I get that. I understand what you're saying, but a lot of people would say, what happened after the bye week? You come out of that bye week and you stink it up. And according to the coach, you look lethargic, I guess. Is that what he said? Lethargic? I don't know. I don't know what else he could say at the end of it. He didn't say it. Sluggish. That's what he said. Sluggish. Coming out of the bye week there against the Lions.
I got to interject something.
Sure.
And again, this is completely off topic. The NFL is going to have to do something about this goal line play or this 4th and short play when it looks like a rugby team against another rugby team. I just watched a linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers catapult himself and just absolutely level Kirk Cousins. Yeah. I mean, someone's going to get killed out there, man. They're worried about hits to the head. I guess that's okay.
Well, I mean,
by the way, they're winning 16-7. If they score a touchdown here, it'll be 23-7. And in baseball, it looks like the Texas Rangers, who killed the Tampa Bay Rays' hope and the Baltimore Orioles' hope, is actually going to win the game. They're up 8-2 in the 5th inning.
Wow, I think that game is probably over, but you never know.
It's game 7, baby. It's game 7.
Yeah, Tampa
Who
Bay
won Diamondbacks Phils today? Do you know?
Diamondbacks, game 7.
Okay, go Longoria, go Tommy Pham. Got a little bit of skin in the game, Tampa Bay.
Yep. Evan Longoria definitely
had. How's that rating going to be? And watch the World Series for the Arizona Diamondbacks against the Texas Rangers.
Well, look at the American League Championship.
It'll be the lowest covered World Series literally in history.
This is Major League Baseball's fault. They wanted to change up the playoff scenarios and everything else. This is what you get. This is what you get with messing with tradition and everything else. And I get it. It's great to have teams in and stories about the Diamondbacks and the Phillies or whoever else is going to be in it, Texas. But, it's not going to draw your ratings. Baltimore and Tampa were 2 of the top teams in the AL East. They're done. The Dodgers were the top team, one of the top teams in the NL. They're done.
Stink.
The Atlanta Braves had 100 wins this year.
Another $300 million gone.
So, if the ratings go down, there's nothing to blame but the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred, and Major League Baseball themselves. They deserve it. They deserve all the low ratings that they're going to get. What do you say, Tampa Bay, Ray?
Because you're such a purist, Peter, and I love you, brother. But let's be honest, we grew up with the Cubs, the Mets, and the Braves with WTN, WGN, WOR. That's how we are in Tampa Bay. In the Yankees and Red Sox, because the Rays have been dominating for the last few years, are such – wouldn't you, as the Major League Baseball looks to go to 32 teams eventually in the future, and it seems like they're taking their time, would you at least consider the Rays being in relocation, maybe even to the National League, so you got like a natural Marlins, Braves, maybe even a Mets or a Phillies or some kind of affiliation? Would that be better for baseball in the long run? Especially, wouldn't it be better for Tampa Bay?
That's a great question, man, because you know what? No matter what, they're still going to be the greatest team of all time, the first team to win 30 games. Oh, my God, it's the most brutal thing you've ever seen. Lord, they're the best team since sliced bread. Look at this 30-win team. They're just they're going all the way. Hell, they're going to win the World Series before the World Series gets here.
You're such a jackass.
I know. I just had to throw that out there.
Of course he did. Of course he did. You had to dig into the scab, didn't you? You had to piss me off now again. The reason why you want to go into the NL East is so you can get rid of those scum bum Yankee fans and scum bum Red Sox fans and scum bum Baltimore Orioles fans.
Hey. Baltimore is not a bad team. Don't talk. Hey, listen, don't talk about my nephew over there. He's proud.
Oh,
if Tampa didn't get rid of Kriebel, they may have gone further.
Oh, yeah, sure they would.
Hey, but look, you didn't mention the most important team of all. You didn't mention the Toronto Blue Jays that are literally like an anchor to any team that has to host them for like 15 games a year. Those Canadians in July, they travel like syrup down the side of a tree in frozen Canada.
All I want to say is if
I didn't say that.
I'm going to get so hate for that.
There you go. Big board. Get him. Let's go.
I hope Andrew Faubert is watching.
I hope not.
Problem is, you got 2 great wide receivers, and the rest are just there for show.
Sap going down the side of a cold tree. You mean in the winter, Ray? I mean, just add a little more salt in there. They just had their first snowfall.
Great.
I did say winter, too, I think.
Awesome. We're enjoying warm weather down here. I would like to be 60s and 70s one of these days. Thanks.
Harry 65.
I'm sending the big board an invite now. Y'all are.
You should. 5 penalties on the O-line. Absolutely. I mean, watching that display yesterday, every time. And then you finally get a long run. And I feel like it's, oh, no, we suck again because you get a penalty right afterwards. One step forward, 2 steps back with this team.
And here's the thing with Rachaad White. Again, going back to Arizona State, the offense he ran pro style, the Bucs are still running a delayed trap. And the defensive line is usually 3 yards in our backfield after the ball gets handed on a delayed trap, which that's the way Rachaad White ran in college. Because, again, he's the threat out of the backfield on a receiving, which you can't use him as a threat if you can't at least get to 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And where's the rookie? Where's the rookie from Syracuse? His name's escaping me right now. Where's this kid at? Because he hits the holes. That's what he did at Syracuse, and that's what you were hoping. Maybe we saw him a little bit in preseason.
Get that man some milk.
Well, and I think it comes down to, once again, what Todd Bowles is saying, that Keyshawn Vaughn has done enough in practice to prove himself, and that's the reason why he continues to start on the clip of 19 carries for 32 yards. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy could probably get 19 carries for 32 yards, even behind this offensive line. And I think probably 65-year-old Harry the Greek could probably get 19 carries for 32 yards. You deserve it. You keep on talking about it. Stop talking about
at least I played the game.
Well, that's true. You did. You absolutely played.
You're right. I probably could get 30. Actually, I'd probably get 40 yards on 19 carries. What do you think, Ray?
I think you could.
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, maybe it would take a couple of. I can't even keep that straight.
Hold on.
Even keep that straight.
Can you hold my cane? I need to get up to the line of scrimmage.
Here might be the comment of the night, and this is from Troy. He actually is contributing to the show. Stop talking about the 85 Bears defense. O.J. Simpson had the best defense in history.
That is
Oh, my God.
He didn't do it. He was proven innocent in a court of law.
The glove doesn't fit. You must acquit. We remember. No wide receiver other than Godwin and Evans have over 100 yards even. I mean, the tight end position. Cade Otton, again, not a blocker, caught some passes. I get it. Some people are high on him. I mean, Harry, what's your thoughts on Cade Otton, what you've seen with him on film?
Honestly, I think Cade Otton's playing fine this year. I mean, they could put him in different situations for a little bit more blocking, especially with rolling out to his side. And they're just not doing it for some reason. Again, I'm going to go back to it. You can ask me about every player that there is. You're going to get my standard answer. Run the ball more, be more creative, and get that quarterback out of the pocket.
Well, your responses are like the offensive play calling right now from Dave Canales. Very vanilla. Ray.
But at least it makes sense.
I guess so. But Ray, give me something.
But no, let's talk about PFF grades.
Well
Pete.
Football focus grades are legitimate to a certain degree. Ray.
Let me pose that. Let me respond with a question because most of us aren't, media credentialed eating prime rib over in Tampa, over Raymond James Stadium. Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask you this.
Yeah, Daddy's home. Go ahead.
Daddy's home.
Daddy's home. Another asshole.
Put that on a T-shirt. Put that on a plaque and hang it in your next job. But is Baker really dancing in the pocket like a lot of the time? Because that would be a reason why Cade Otton's not getting a response. Because Cade, unlike Jonnu Smith with the Falcons in that first touchdown, your tight end is your check down. Very few plays are you going to have a play where your tight end is your hot read. I mean, you may have a play where you're designing it to him for it to be the hot read, but most of the time it's going to be your big wide receivers. But if you got a quarterback that's dancing, and Baker's staying in a pocket, but if he's not making his progressions, making his reads, then Cade Otton's not going to eat. You're going to have two wide receivers that get fed, and maybe you're going to allow the defense to cheat up on the run because you got a quarterback who's not calculating and making the reads, so they're going hot read or delayed run out of the backfield. I mean, I'm asking, so Pete, you're there. Is Baker really dancing a lot in the pocket? Because the offensive line is seemingly keeping him clean.
No, transition more to the run game.
What I'm seeing is from your transition there, buddy, is the fact that nobody is getting any separation. They're doing a good job of doubling on Mike Evans. Chris Godwin got a little bit free, but not enough. I'm not sure if he's all the way back yet. And the other guys are just guys. And I think with Otton, it's in. Oh, here we go with Otton.
I'm bringing him in.
All right.
Oh yeah, Ray. My favorite fan from very close to my heart, from a town close to Regina, Saskatchewan, Mr. Andrew Faubert.
Andrew, are you there?
Yes. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
What are your thoughts of this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team? In fact,
from the north of the border.
Yes, north of the border. I would throw it out there. Number one,
slow as tree sap on the side of a friggin'
I prefer south of the border. I'm just saying.
All right, Andrew, what's the biggest disappointment after the Falcons loss? Play calling and coaching, OL and the offensive line, of course, and lack of running game, quarterback play, or Ryan Neal in the defense. Why or why not go?
Am I allowed to go off script, respectively, of the ones that you gave me there?
Go for it.
I did.
I got two, really. I got culture. The culture there is not what it was before. Respectively, what I called it before was a split down the middle of guys wanting to get paid and guys who have been paid. I don't necessarily think it's that anymore. I think it's guys who want to win and guys who don't want to lose. And it's kind of a weird – I'm going to go to a show that's currently on Crave up here. It's probably on HBO Max down there called Shoresy. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It's a bit of a hockey show, and they keep asking him, do they not like to win? And he goes, no, they don't like to lose. They don't know what it's like to lose. Some of the guys on the team have lost before. That taste is there. They can grow from it, and they can continue on because they know how to lose. Some of these guys on the team do not know how to lose. And respectively, that isn't even part of the players. I think it goes to some of this coaching staff too. It's almost as if a flash in the pan is happening again for Todd Bowles, as if he's in New York again, where the media is starting to tear him up. And he didn't necessarily think this was going to happen in Tampa when he went from New York.
Hold on. The media here is a bunch of pussycats compared to New York. Here, hang on. This is for you, Andrew. This is for you. Woodford Reserve, sir. And no, this is not maple syrup on the side of.
Kind of looked like it for a second.
Oh no, this is really good. The Greek has to have a little something because he has to deal with this nonsense tonight.
Deal with you,
really?
Your nonsense.
Are you serious? Come on, man.
Well, here's the thing.
Let's talk about what it is.
Go ahead.
The play calling couldn't get any worse, Andrew. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. You cannot rush the ball 20 times respectfully and pass the ball 47 times. You just can't do it. This is not the greatest show on turf. I'm sorry.
Andrew, that's the first time I've heard someone make a direct line correlation between Todd Bowles as he coached in New York and Todd Bowles as he's coaching here in Tampa Bay. And the results are seemingly the same, right?
I'll give him that.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, is it a conservative play calling? Is someone trying too hard to satisfy Todd Bowles? And again, that defense that pretty much kept the Falcons in check. And as a result of that, because the NFC South, don't forget these Falcons in the offseason, they went and hired half of the Saints defensive staff. So divisional opponents know how to stop you. But I haven't heard that. I mean, I hadn't even thought about that. And yeah, this is the reason why Todd Bowles looks so bland in New York. Other than this year, it's like one word. Yeah. Other than that, this offense looks like they're just trying to get the defense back on and try to win the game.
Yeah, no, Andrew brings great points.
I was going to say with the offense as well. When we were 2-0, and even when we were 2-1, everybody was still saying, this offense looks a little bit different than last year's. It's not so bleak and it's not so readable. And now it just seems that Canales has figured that he can use that scheme, use that formula going into week 4, 5, and 6. And I think everybody's kind of caught on halfway through the second quarter where it's like, think this is what he's going to do. He's going to throw a play action in here. He's probably going to have to force it to Rashad White on second down and then hope and pray to God that Evans or Godwin can get it on third. And it's not working. And especially against these good teams, these good defenses. And as I've said before on a couple of shows, if we're going to play like this, where we're going to have to scrape a few wins off of bad teams, then when we get up against the good teams, we're going to be shown the door right quick. And if that means winning the South and then going to the playoffs against the Cowboys, the Eagles, or the 49ers, or even the Seahawks, that's not going to be a nice competition for us.
You know what? I will tell you this. It's very hard to beat a team twice in the National Football League. And to two teams that have beaten them is Detroit, who they could have beat, and you can line the Eagles and Tampa up again from 2 weeks ago, and I'd still take Tampa in that game. You can call me crazy. I'm just telling you what I've seen in the play calling. It's going to be very difficult to beat a team twice. So do I think they're going to get past round one? From what I'm watching, they're not even going to make the playoffs if they continue to play this way. Okay? Well, they won't even make the playoffs if they continue to play this way. You better get your head out of your ass and become more balanced. Again, you know what? Atlanta committed 3 turnovers in that game, but they still ran the football 38 times, and they got the W. It's end. That's it. That's the bottom line.
And their offensive line is able to open up holes. They're committed to it. You know what? It doesn't matter if they have Bijan Robinson, which, by the way, now that's come out. The NFL.
Wait, what was it?
Well, the NFL is investigating it. Of course, the report was on the sideline and throughout the press box is that he didn't necessarily feel well.
2001 Space Odyssey. Here it comes.
I don't know what it is, but
that's what happened. That Jaquan Brisker did the same thing with the Chicago Bears they're not talking about. He was over at 2001 Odyssey when the Bears were playing. And the kid, if you guys remember, when they pulled him out of the game not once but twice but had to give him IVs? He was hungover, ladies and gentlemen. A little too much partying because right next door are 2 of the world's famous strip bars there are.
Well, and I tell you right now, it really didn't matter.
And Peter, no matter what you say, their buffet food there stinks. I know you like to
but
eat
air
there.
fryer will set you free.
Listen, guys, you got to get this right. Let me go full screen here.
Oh God.
It's not air fryer set you free. You got to put it on the shirt. You got to do it right. This is the problem. This is why I'm the host here. Air fryers save lives. Write it down. There you go. All right, there is a.
He's got the infomercial starting. Kenny from 806 Sports Radio knows they got an infomercial starting.
Air fryers save lives. Say it with me. For bachelors out there who don't know how to cook and who burn everything like a hot Florida summer's day, everything burns, including a grilled cheese. Air fryers save lives.
Peter,
yes.
You're the one that told me that the 2001 Odyssey in Mons Vena has two of the best buffets out there. Hell, during happy hour, they serve Hungry Howie's pizza. You love it. We already know.
Oh, he's home free.
I know.
That is a terrible, terrible rumor, ladies and gentlemen, that's been put out there. I have no idea about buffet at all. Okay?
Yes.
I'm too busy being credentialed media eating.
Oh, that hurts.
47 and 18.
Press box.
Trust me, he tells the Greek all the time.
Quiet. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of the sports web. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, and the big board, Andrew Fulbert. Let's go back out to the comments as it's getting crazy here, but we love it here on the sports web. It's
petting my kitty.
Would you stop petting your kitty? Did Pete just go Paula Abdul on us? I don't know what you're talking about. What, cold-hearted snake? That was supposedly supposed to be Sneak Vaughn.
Straight up now, tell me.
He's not a snake. He's a turtle. At 19 carries for 32 yards. 1.8 career average right now. 65-year-old Harry played with a leather.
65 years old. Who wrote that?
Kenny did.
I take it back. You guys don't want to listen to 806 Sports Radio out of Amarillo, Texas. Who the hell wants to listen to those boring cons up there? What are you kidding me? They support the Dallas Cowgirls. I mean Cowboys, for God's sakes.
Oh,
I'm only kidding you, Kenny. Seriously, if you guys get a chance, tune in every day in the morning. Go to Facebook. The only way you're going to be able to listen to them. They're absolutely hilarious. They got open phone lines over there, and they're a lot of fun.
All right. Good stuff there. Great announcement and promotion for 806. I would absolutely agree. Love being on that show. Got on there. Tampa Bay Ray making it rain, I guess. I don't know.
I make it rain. I don't have to get paid.
You got the money. All right. Peter never played the game. He just talks about the game. Yes, I tried to play the game. But in order to steal a phrase, because we're talking about cooking, you don't necessarily have to be a chef in the kitchen there, Roger Shue, in order to know something tastes like. So there you go. How about that?
By the way, 10-2, by the way, right now. Texas is winning in the top of the sixth.
Game 7.
Well,
Game
there
7,
you go.
baby.
Texas.
They are opening up a can of ass whooping. The cheaters are finally losing.
And I got to tell you, TJ Reeves, Uncle TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, he said this on the JP Peterson show that he felt like Texas could go back to the World Series, especially if they had their way with the Tampa Bay Rays. And guess what? The human lottery ticket is right again.
You know, Pete, what a get. What a get. It's the sideline guy. It's Pete, TJ Reeves. What a get. It's like, hey, come on over, get on the show, brother. Again, fantastic with the post-game coverage. Loving it.
You appreciate it. Andrew, you like the post-game coverage there in collaboration with the JP Peterson show?
I do. Every time I got to take a quick gander in there before work, you're doing great things down there. And I'm jealous every time you guys get to even like walk through the doors of Raymond James. I got to get down there.
It's a lot of fun. But I implore everybody to tell me what color was Pete's shirt that he had on yesterday for the game. Because the only thing I noticed was the red dress that was behind him. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Pete, I kept trying to expand it, doing whatever I could, but I'm sorry, bro. I couldn't hear anything. The show was great, though.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot for paying attention, like always, Harry.
Oh, my God. Who the hell cares?
All right. So even when the Bucs were the worst team in the league, they were the 32nd best team in the world. I think the Bucs' worst problem is that a lot of other teams are simply better. Two giant goofballs. Peter was a statistician on the team. No disrespecting the host. See you at work tomorrow, Pete. Meeting at 10. You don't work with me, but thank you. More like a stepdaddy, okay?
That is the comment of the year right there. Who's your daddy? More like a stepdaddy.
Stepdaddy still has power. Just saying. What's this all a boat? A boot?
A boot?
What
A boot?
What is hockey? Two giant
Pete.
balls. If you can't handle Tampa media, you need a psychological help. I got rum. Okay. It's hard to beat a team 2 times unless you are the NFC North and you get the Bears.
Andrew, I gave a very important person in your family the Plan B method so she doesn't make that mistake again.
Wow. All right, Harry. I will throw down my kitchen with an air fryer. No, there is no way. There is no way you can burn anything in the air fryer unless you're a complete and total imbecile. Okay? No way. Peter cooks his hot dogs in the air fryer. Hot dog! No, I don't.
That's pretty good, actually.
They got Hungry Howie's left out. It's like getting CC's with adult games. Guys, what are you guys still on Hungry Howie's for? I love Hungry Howie's.
Hungry Howie's is the best. Oh, yeah. It's 100%. It's fantastic.
Go to CC's Pizza.
CC's.
It's all you can eat.
There you go. You know what? That's what you should do. You should grab me, Leo, TJ Reeves, and everybody and invite us out to CC's Pizza. And I guarantee you, hold on, and I guarantee you we'll all show up. But don't hold your breath. You'll be waiting there going, I don't understand what happened to my buddies.
It'll be like that dog playing poker picture, but we'll all be disappointed as hell.
Right. Well, it's free food at the end of the day. It's on you, Harry. 2 giant goop balls. Ray looks like a art critic in the black shirt sipping his wine. Okay, thank you very much for the flex there. And 2 giant goop balls just missing the scarf. Andrew, give me some thoughts here on this team going into their matchup on Thursday night versus the Buffalo Bills, which, by the way, 31st versus the run. You would think that this Bucs team could probably take advantage of it. Can they take advantage of it finally?
I don't know. It's going to be a hard thing to do, buddy. 31st for the run and 31st against the run. Someone's going to win. I got a side here.
Go ahead.
The Bills, I don't think the Bills are necessarily going to walk the Buccaneers because, this Thursday night game and the Buccaneers defense is, still relatively good, but I do not know what our offense is going to be able to do. Even they're depleted in areas that we can capitalize on. One-on-one matchup with Kerr Elam with probably Mike Evans. And then they got that Benson, I think it is, who is going to be on Chris Godwin. So those should be key matchups because it's a 6th rounder and their 1st rounder who isn't necessarily panned out properly. So Baker could get some yards. Baker can probably get some confidence back. But the run game is going to have to be established somehow. And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up too. Vaughn doesn't necessarily have it. I think we've all seen that before. We also don't have that 3rd down pass catching back like we used to. Even when McCoy was in for the 1 year and he was healthy for that half good season that we utilized him, that's what changed up defenses and changed up their looks, which allowed insides, which allowed certain inside routes to be utilized. And it's not there anymore. We don't have the running back. But the problem is we're not going to be able to trade for one. Dalvin Cook has already gone to the Jets, and even if they were to trade him, which it has apparently been on the rumor mill, they're going to ask for a 4th rounder. And we haven't traded anything better than a 3rd rounder in a long time. And I don't think the Bucs are going to want to do that either until probably around draft time. So I think we're in this for the long haul, and I think that's okay because I'm starting to also get into what everybody else has been saying, such as Ray and Peter and Harry and everybody else around the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is going to be the way the Buccaneers do things for a little while. And they're not just going to change everyone in-house this year because the cap's not going to allow it. And this is the only type of GM and coaching staff that are ready to take on this type of mess, I guess you would say, for the next couple of years and at least make something of it. So don't expect any huge trades. Don't expect anything massive, but we're going to be somewhat competitive to the Bills on one end, but on the other, it's going to be rough, guys.
Well, it's going to be a team that's going to be upset. It's a team that's highly talented, led by Josh Allen, of course, Stephon Diggs. They're still trying to find their running game. going back to Cook, there's a report out there that the Jets would only want a 6th-round pick. Harry, if that's true, and you can get Dalvin Cook for a 6th-round pick, if you're the Bucs, would you make that deal? Does it make a difference with this offensive line, yes or no?
Absolutely. I'd give them 2 6th-round picks and a 5th.
Wow. So that good with this offensive line, you think Cook can be successful still?
Yeah, as long as they commit to the run game. I mean, do you have to commit to the run game, Peter? I mean, that's the problem, but they're not. There's a coaching problem. You want me to wash, rinse, and repeat? I'm going to say it again. The coaching's the issue here. It has everything to do with Canales. Hell, even Bandit thinks it is.
Well, Bandit agrees. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, 6th-round choice for Dalvin Cook. You make that deal, and will he be successful behind that offensive line? Yes or no?
Yeah, well, the optimist Buccaneer fan says, yeah, we're a narrative away at running back from maybe getting it going because Keyshawn Vaughn, the Vanderbilt, SEC champ, and then, Chase Edmonds, whatever, and DIA and Rashad White, the receiver out of the backfield. And, that's why when they were just floating at CBS Sports last weekend, and of course, Jay Richer and Zach Blobner locking it down 95.3 every day from 12 to 3. They talked about this as, man, what would Derrick Henry do? First of all, I said this, I called in this show. I was like, yeah, Derrick Henry, I remember running back in high school. You knew if the coach called it, I was center. Coach called a 2-dive or a 1-dive. I knew the RB was coming up my backside. It gave me motivation to get out of the set, get out of the traps and make that block, get upfield. And Derrick Henry coming at me from the backside would scare me. The question is, are the Buccaneers a running back away? This offensive line doesn't seem inept, but I don't know at this point if it is a running back away or not. I just have to see a little bit more to know if that's the problem or if it's just truly that zone blocking scheme is going to take a year or two to get going.
Fair point. All right, let's go out to the big board. Andrew Polbert, they are north of the border in beautiful Canada. What do you say here? Dalvin Cook for 6th round.
Saskatchewan.
Does that make a difference?
If it was a 6th-rounder, yeah, that's a little bit more manageable. The cap is there, so and especially if you're trying to give Canales an opportunity to be a good offensive coordinator, he's shown flashes. He really has. So give him another running back. Give him another running back. See what Baker can do with that, and also, I mean, just. If it's not Dalvin Cook, there's others out there available. And if it's not the household name, Buccaneer fans, don't get mad when we inevitably trade possibly even a 5th for someone where you're like, what? Why are we doing this? Blah, 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 blah. It's just stats. It's just analytics. Just give Canales a chance if he gets another running back. I'll take it.
I got to give Big Board a shout out here real quick. How about them Detroit Red Wings, buddy? 5-1, baby.
Wow.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, are they cooking it up, man?
That's hockey. That's hockey, right?
Yeah, the Red Wings. Right?
Yeah, it's
Red Wings.
Yeah, that's Daddy Iserman. That's that guy who built your guys' cups down there in Tampa. Yeah, he came to Detroit, and he finally made a trade, and it finally brought somebody back who wants to be here. And yeah, I'm finally watching some pretty damn good hockey here in Canada. It's quite fun.
Hey.
I was going to ask a question before Andrew and Harry sneak out of here, because I'm sure they're going to want to. Has anybody else longed to see Coke Keefe at fullback? If these defenses are going to play that Rashad,
I love that.
Well, and Rashad White can't get open out of the backfield because they're shutting the RB game, the running back game before it even gets to the line, let alone the quick outs to your running back and your screen passes. But if that's the way teams are going to play you, if that's going into Buffalo this week, if Sean McDermott and those Bills are going to play the exact way then yeah, put Vita Vea in at fullback and pound it down their throats. And then when you soften them up, hit them with a screen. Then when you soften them up, hit Kate Otten. Then when you soften them up, you go deep, and this time you connect with the young receiver. Devin Tompkins. It's like that's the problem we have is it the Todd Bowles, are they calling this offense to be conservative for the defense, or is one hand tied behind Dave Canales' back? I didn't follow the Seahawks enough last year to know how Geno Smith did it. He wasn't lighting the board up with 500-yard passing games, but I generally don't know. Where is the fullback? Let's pound it down some throats. Let's get some revenge if we're going to go down.
Let me go ahead and chime in on this on a serious note. There's very few teams that actually run fullbacks anymore. I mean, I know the Bears run blasting game, and I think Tennessee even has a fullback, but I really don't know. And San Francisco still runs a fullback.
Baltimore.
But not as many teams in the National Football League, and for some reason, it has really become a lost art with the fullback. But yeah, that would be nice, and that does help the running game. And that's what I'm really surprised about. Why isn't Canales using a fullback more? That's a great question.
Well, I mean, anything at this point would help. You have to change it up. Let me go back out to two giant goop balls. Cook says Cook averaging 2 yards per carry. Breece Hall 5.8. Just saying maybe Cook is cooked. Also, another name being thrown out there, Rashard Penny from the Philadelphia Eagles. He knows Canales' system, or the Seattle system, if you will. So that's been thrown out there. You're not sure what the Eagles are going to be willing to take for him. If anything, I don't know what kind of value he has. We all know, though, this was been reported tonight, Chase Edmonds has been activated. So in the 21-day window, Edmonds could be activated on Thursday night for the Bucs. In your opinion, does Chase Edmonds give them an opportunity to have a better running game, Harry?
I don't know. I'm going to have to be reserved on my answer there.
Okay.
I really don't know.
Okay, because when he was healthy, 4 carries for 20 yards, he did show some explosive nature. He's done it before in the National Football League with the Arizona Cardinals. What do you say, Tampa Bay Ray?
Yeah, 100%. He hits the hole a lot faster, and that's the problem with Rashad White, and the reason why Keyshawn's getting playing time is Chase will hit the ball, because with his own blocking scheme, again, you got to trust that the hole's going to be there. You got to run to where they are, and then like Days of Thunder, because they won't be there when you get there. And Chase Edmonds would also be a change of pace, and anything at this point to give this offensive line a little bit of motivation.
How about a big board?
Yeah, I mean, Chase would be, if you consider the trade market, Chase would have been one of those other players out there that if you were asked to dangle a 6th or a 7th round, you'd be kind of, reluctant but happy to have it. So bringing him back, yeah, I agree with what Tampa Ray's also saying. It's just that extra little bit of speed. You allow Rashad White to maybe be a little bit more of the pass catching back that he seems to be a little bit better at, in my honest opinion, when he gets that open backfield. So, yeah, it should be nice to have. Let's see what Chase can do.
All right, update on the score right now, 22-14, Minnesota over San Francisco.
Yeah, and Frisco's got the ball, and they're driving at Minnesota's 37-yard line, and it's going to be second down.
The Vikings are going to blow it. They're just that type of defense.
Well, they took 4 shots to get into the end zone and missed. They were down deep, but at least they're still winning 22-14.
Yep, there you go. All right, Bills lost to the Pats and barely beat my Giants. You never know. You don't. You never know because, again, the NFL is a week-by-week league. Ray, you wanted to say something.
Oh, no, I was just saying it seems like the Bills' window. They're off their window, the Josh Allen window and Stephon Diggs and all that. It seems it's getting smaller, which probably putting them under pressure, which means the Bucs go into Buffalo this week, and it's Thursday night. They're going to have attitude. But, again, a Todd Bowles defensive-led team that doesn't make mistakes, possibly. That's what you use as motivation to give these Bills a good game on Thursday Night Football.
Well, and they got to cause turnovers. You can't have, the breakdowns. How disappointing, I got to ask you, Andrew, because I know Harry's answer, I know Ray's answer, but how disappointed have you been, Ryan Neal? Pro Football Focus's #1 safety coming out of Seattle. A lot of Bucs fans happy about it. He would solidify that safety position, and he's done the complete opposite at this point.
No. Can I? Who's the gentleman? I keep forgetting his name. I loved him so much. Who's the gentleman we let go to the Jets again? That was
Jordan Whitehead.
Jordan Whitehead.
Yeah. I honestly, just looking at Whitehead and what he's done for the Jets too, just that, like, how good that defense is, and then when he's needed to come in, he's rocked it. Honestly, I'll take him. I take Bradley McDougall back at this point. I mean, there's certain people out there that you can just bring in off the streets that are doing such a better job than this guy. And it's really sucks because Antoine Winfield has to do more because of the lack of the strong safety position right now. That if you go look at the tape, he's had to go and play strong safety a couple of times, and that just means we're going to have to pay him even more money. So that's why it ticks me off that the strong safety position is doing so bad right now. It's because I want to kind of get Winfield at a little bit of a home discount because I'd love to keep you for like 8 years, not at top dollar, but I'd love to keep you at 8 years. But not when he can play free safety and strong safety and nickel and even corner when we absolutely need him to as well. So if we're going to go make a trade for someone at the safety position, it would have to be something drastic. Like, we would have to be trading for someone that would actually be here for a few years. other than that, it's one of those things we're just going to have to deal with the slow leak that we have here with them until the end of the season where we can replace them.
Actually, the Eagles made a trade today like they need something like a hole in the head, but they tried to shore up their position with Kevin Byard from the Titans, and I believe they trade like a 5th or 6th round pick for a guy, that's been a Pro Bowler. It's been, that's the type of player right there you need to add, and the Eagles are doing that. With that being said, Harry, I know what you think about Devin White. Ray, what's your thoughts on Devin White in a contract extension at this point? What do you see with him? Don't see a lot with him, but do you think he deserves a contract extension with his play so far on the field?
He's been there because, again, we pretty much shut down the Falcons, and Detroit Lions didn't do hardly anything. It was hit and miss. And then both games, our defense was tired because our offense was not producing at all. But he hasn't done that, $100 million splat. I mean, first couple of games, if you had to give him a contract by week 3, Devin would be re-signed, and it'd probably be quite player friendly. But obviously, you got to question yourself at the end of the season. What did he mean to this defensive performance or this defense in 2023? And how much are you willing to invest in one player when you got a lot of other mouths to feed on this Buccaneers team? That's a great question, Pete, but I think the jury remains out. We'll find out after the Bills, the Texans, the Titans, and then the 49ers.
Fair enough. Big Board, what do you say with White? Has he earned a contract extension in your opinion?
So yes, in my opinion, but not the contract that he would necessarily want, because he would probably want a 5x8 to a 5x9.5, I would assume. Or, he thinks that he's obviously a $12 million, but we're looking at anywhere between 8 and 9.5. And I'm looking at anywhere for the 3-year, give him the 7 flat, and then give yourself an out after the 2 years as a Buccaneers organization. Then you give him a $14 million basically guaranteed in the 2 years, which would be close to what the franchise tag would have been for a full year. You kind of make everybody happy 50-50, but he has not played anywhere near being the 12 to 14.5 mil middle linebacker that he wants to be. So meet down in the middle, do it 3x7.
He wants to be an $18 to $20 million linebacker, $100 million a year. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
Pete, I'll give you a scenario. Is Levante going to keep playing the way he's playing, and will he come back another year? Because if you have a team that you think's contending in 2024, you can't lose both your middle linebackers on your defense. I'm not saying, I hate to use the word quarterback because all of our quarterbacks seem to be on the D line or up front with Shaq and the guys. But if Levante's here another year, it may make it a little easier to swallow that Devin White pill, or at least it gives the Buccaneers a little more negotiating standpoint.
To answer your question, Levante David is the only linebacker on this team that deserves a contract extension right now, because he is the only player on this linebacking core that's been the most consistent. He is an ageless wonder, 33 years old, 13 all over the field. And Devin White, you would think, with him being under David, that some of that would rub off, and it really hasn't. And I just don't understand it. We saw Devin White take over games in that 2021 postseason. We saw what he could do against the Saints, and you kind of expect that. And ever since he's done that in the postseason, I feel like he's almost regressed. Is that fair, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
Harry,
bit.
you disagree with that? No. Okay.
He was like a.
I don't disagree with it at all. I really don't. I don't disagree with it at all.
Andrew, go ahead.
He was a stallion out there. Like, there was games where like Levante could have taken the game off, and it was all Devin White. He had like 14, 15 tackles. He had like 2 forced fumbles. He had highlight reel hits, for crying out loud. I mean, that are now getting suspended, this guy in Denver here. But like, he was really putting himself in there in games. Like, he was making himself known, like a presence, and we do not see that anymore. It's really the outside guys and Barrett, to be honest with you.
But Andrew, how much of that has to do with I'm sorry, bro. I was going to ask how much of that has to do with the fact that offenses are going away from him. After Jonnu Smith catches that first touchdown yesterday, I'm like, oh yeah, Arthur Smith, Titans tight ends coach, Titans OC, comes to Atlanta. He's got Kyle Pitts, he's got Jonnu Smith. But then really this whole season, you haven't seen a lot of these running backs getting these easy over the middle passes. Most of these, a lot of this defense is coming on chunk plays against the secondary, and that tells me that the offenses are going away from a Devin White. So he kind of gets lost in the sauce. He's regressed a little on the field as far as his name popping out, but from a leadership standpoint, I think he's taken a leadership role on this defense, if not the defensive captain that he was selected to be in 2023.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I disagree because I think defenses are absolutely going after him. That's the reason why you have so many plays down the middle, and whether he's responsible for coverage or not. But also, if you're a defensive leader on this team, you've got to make more plays, and you've got to stop teams from gaining over 100 yards. I mean, so many big plays yesterday, and he's not able to shed blocks. He's not able to do this and do that. If you want to be a $100 million linebacker, you got to play like it. Let's go back out to the phone lines here. The tribal troll using his second call. What's on your mind?
All right, real quick. I'm just wondering when to change topics. When are we going to start talking some hockey on this show?
Well, when do you want to when do you want to talk hockey on this show?
Blackhawks.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
Blackhawks. Connor Bedard is a hockcy god. He's
so incredible to watch, and I barely get a chance to watch him. Roger, he's the number one overall pick for a reason, and Chicago's got their franchise for the next decade.
Yes, they do.
The kid scored 80 goals in last season in the minors.
Yeah.
Let's calm down on him being a hockey god. With you, how many?
He is. Just ask Andrew.
Oh, shut up. Be quiet, Harry. Andrew, what do you think about the kid, Connor Bedard?
I loved him for about the last 3 years watching his play. The World Juniors, where he literally took it over for an entire game, and he won a game in overtime with it, like literally deking the entire team. Didn't even have to deke the fourth person. He just did it for the show. Chicago is going to be smart and build around him, but when this kid finally gets two dudes to grow up on each side of him, like every other team has had, like Edmonton with Draisaitl and McDavid, the Red Wings now obviously with Larkin and Raymond. Once he gets one of those other guys beside him, he is going to be something to be forced with or to be messed with in this league.
You can call him a hockey god because that's exactly what he's going to be.
He needs the team around him. That's the only thing. And I don't necessarily think Chicago's the organization that's just going to let him go out there and get hit and injured. I think they're going to do what's right, but with their cap situation and with the picks that they got, they got to put out some money, and they got to take care of some internal stuff that obviously leaked out to the media first before they can obviously convince some other free agents to come over and play. But yes, Bedard is going to be a very fun player to watch for a very long time. It just sucks that he's got to put the Blackhawks jersey on.
You got good hockey conversation going on when somebody says organization. Just saying.
There you go. All right, Roger, what else?
That was it, man. I just haven't heard any lightning talk or anything lately. So
we'll get into that. There's plenty to talk about here. Would you shut up and be quiet? All right, Roger. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate it.
Good night, you guys.
Good night. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's wrap it up here. Harry, I know you got to get out of here. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Peter, thank you so much for having me on. You can catch me here Monday and Wednesdays right here live on the Sports Web. And Sunday mornings when they're not having a home game in Tampa, you will get to see the over-under, and we can go ahead and give out the best picks there are. Wednesday or Thursdays on the J.P. Peterson Show. Yes, Ray, on the J.P. Peterson Show.
Well, I can call in anytime I want.
All right, thanks a lot, Harry. Appreciate you there. Will you shut up, Tampa Bay Ray? Go ahead and promote yourself.
You know what? I got some stuff in the mix. I got of course, you guys have seen Brendan Sherman, a good buddy of mine now, Detroit Lions fan, but local guy, and him and I are going to start talking a little bit. We're going to talk all 32 teams, the entire National Football League. So look for that. It's still going to go into the auspices of the Cup of Ray until we get that big sponsor who we got our eyes on. I'm kidding. We have nobody, but brother, thanks for having me. Andrew, always a pleasure. And you know what? If talking to you were like sap running down a cold tree in Canada in the wintertime, it would be a pleasure, and it would always be sweet, brother. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, smooth operator, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you, bro.
Let's go back out to the big board here. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the Sports Web.
As Peter just said before, I am the big board from up here in Canada. I do North Sports Dynasty. I'm usually live on Fridays. Work has just been crazy the last little bit, but you can catch me live Friday nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I also got a couple other things coming down the pipe, which are not going to be sports related, but are taking a lot of time out of my days. So you guys should be able to take a look and see the advertising coming up for that in the next month or so. Peter, as always, thanks for having me on tonight. And to everybody else, go Bucs, and we'll talk to you later.
Go Bucs. Great stuff there, big board. Thanks a lot for your time here on the Evolution, all right?
Anytime, buddy. You just let me know.
All right, good stuff there. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, the Sports Web. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Facebook stars are out there, YouTube chats. Of course, we'll get you ready on Wednesday night with the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions and Amped Up Sports. And, of course, plenty of other guests, thanks to Harry the Greek, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, and, of course, the big board of the North Sports Dynasty, Mr. Andrew Fulbear. Again, what do we learn tonight? First and foremost, 3 things. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for the Tampa Bay sports fan and, of course, fans of the Sports Web, it's your time. Like we always say here, Daddy's home. Have a great night.